Good morning, Emerson. The biggest terrorist trial of the 21st century is underway here in Boston, and Lauren Fox has the details.
And from b-boy to baby daddy, Chris Brown has a 9-month-old daughter. Amelia Fabiano has the whole shocking story.
All that and much, much more today, Thursday, March 5th.
I'm Maggie Morlack.
And I'm Logan Reaver.
And welcome to the show. Today we've got a lot of female fun on the show, actually. We have Tania Green here, who will be talking about her product, PMS Bites, which are supposed to help women sort of soothe cravings and also soothe their stomach during their week before their period.
Of course. So we, obviously, me knowing a lot about that, right? So look forward to that, guys, of course, definitely. And also, on a different note, we have Sean's bold pick, which I'm a bit skeptical about. So we'll find out more about that later regarding North Carolina and Duke. Maggie, do you have any knowledge of that rivalry? What do you think about that?
I personally don't have a lot of
Well, Sean's going to
knowledge.
fill you in because it's very bold.
Perfect. Well, we do have a little more girly fun happening at the end of the show. We have our style correspondent, Gretchen Kushel, here with Cassia Enright, a makeup artist who will be showing us specifically some brow tips.
Yes,
So-
definitely looking forward to that later on in the show.
Right, that'll be a lot of fun. But first, the trial of Dzhokhar Tsarnaev begins and Bostonians are on the edges of their seats. Lauren, what's the latest?
Thanks, Maggie. The defense attorney for accused Boston Marathon bomber Dzhokhar Tsarnaev admitted it was him during the first day of his trial on Wednesday. Judy Clark defended Tsarnaev by putting the blame on Dzhokhar's older brother Tamerlan, who Clark says recruited Dzhokhar to join him in the attacks. Tamerlan died 4 days after the bombings on April 19, 2013 during a shootout with police. Dzhokhar Tsarnaev's lawyers have indicated their focus is to prevent him from receiving the death penalty. And the U.S. Supreme Court met Wednesday morning to begin voting on the future of Obama's Affordable Health Care Act. The law passed by Congress currently allows subsidies for lower and middle income people in exchanges established by the states. Because only 16 states have actually established exchanges, but millions in all 50 states are receiving subsidies, lawyer Michael Calvin is challenging the act. If the Supreme Court rules against the Obama administration, more than 5 million people will no longer be eligible for the healthcare subsidies. And the Department of Justice announced on Wednesday that they will not charge police officer Darren Wilson for the death of Michael Brown. The criminal report says there is no reliable evidence to disprove that Wilson feared for his safety when he fatally shot the 18-year-old last August. It also says witness accounts were inconsistent and changed over time. Before he fired the shot, Wilson claims he saw Brown reach into what appeared to be his waistband. Physical and forensic evidence from the crime scene have disproven witness accounts that Brown had his hands up during the confrontation. And a rare goblin shark was found off the coast of Australia on Tuesday. The creature's body was delivered to the Australian Museum in Sydney. According to scientists, this is only the 4th goblin shark the museum has ever been able to examine. The last 2 were found in the 1980s. The sharks, nicknamed aliens of the deep, have a long snout and prickly teeth they use to spear small fish and crabs. Because these animals live nearly 3,000 feet below the ocean's surface, scientists hope to learn more about their lives from this discovery. And now, the latest on the MBTA Fix-Up. According to MBTA officials, Boston's public transportation system needs $6.7 billion to be fully repaired. This is more than double the previous estimate for fixing up all trains, rails, and stations. This figure was announced on Tuesday, a day before Governor Charlie Baker's $190 million MBT rescue plan was announced. This is 50% more than the state gave to the transit system last year, but it's still nowhere near what the MBTA says it needs. With the lack of funding, MassDOT board members are hesitant to issue refunds to commuters who suffered heavy delays during the snowstorms. Members say the MBTA's need for repairs and upgrades would take priority. With refund proposal costs ranging from $4 to $11 million, it's not looking good for commuters who hope to get their money back. MassDOT plans to vote on whether or not they will compensate riders next week. That's all the news I have for you today. Back to Logan and Maggie at the desk.
I don't know if anybody else noticed, but yesterday was absolutely gorgeous outside. What did you think about it, Maggie?
That's
You
right.
noticed
It was like in the 40s, but right now, that's amazing.
We'll take it.
It was
Definitely.
gorgeous.
Yeah. Marina, what do you think about all of the weather just yesterday and coming forward? What's going on?
Yesterday was beautiful. I got to put away the winter jacket, just bring out my spring one for a minute. But in this upcoming week, it's going to be more of a New England winter, so snowing and not snowing and warm and freezing. It's going to be all over the place. Today, the snow has returned. Now, while we've been seeing smaller accumulations over the past few days, tomorrow Boston will be seeing somewhere between 1 and 3 inches. Some Bostonians are going so far as to hope for more snow so we can finally beat the record for all-time snowiest winter. It'll be a colder day with a high of 28 and a low of 12. Tonight, the temperature will be dropping significantly, bringing the city down to a frigid 12 degrees. Wind gusts could get up to 21 miles per hour, which will make it feel around -2 outside. Skies will be partly cloudy tonight, so it might be a good idea to hold off on any nighttime strolls. Tomorrow, the snow will let up for a mostly sunny day with some clouds appearing throughout the afternoon. However, it will be one of those sunny yet chilly days that we're growing so accustomed to, with a high of 25 and a low of 16 degrees. Winds will be slowing down, though, which may actually make the city feel a little warmer than the projected temperature. Looking ahead to our 5-day, we'll be seeing a cloudier week ahead of us. But don't let the clouds get you down as we all head off for fun and adventures over spring break. Today, we'll have a high of 28 and a low of 12 with scattered snow showers. Tomorrow will be a sunny day with a high of 25 and a low of 16. And this weekend, we'll be seeing a little more cloud coverage, but it will be warming up. On Saturday, there'll be a high of 35 and a low of 23. On Sunday, expect a high of 39 and a low of 28. Finally, on Monday, we could see more snow showers with a high of 42 and a low of 30. And just when it seemed Boston was breathing a sigh of relief from our snowy February, the city got hit with a little more snow, which is making some Bostonians ask, well, what's it going to hurt? In this upcoming week, we could see anywhere between 3 and 5 inches, which is making some Bostonians cry out for just a little more snow to break the all-time record for snowiest winter. Some people say since they've suffered through the storms, they deserve the bragging rights of having made it through the winter. Others are a little less excited about the record-breaking potential and just want to see the beginning of spring. In my opinion, what's 2 more inches? Bring it on. Maybe just keep the tea open this time. That's all for weather. Back to Maggie and Logan.
Well, Marina, I agree with you. I think we should go for the record. Now we have to take a quick commercial break, but a little bit later, I will be quizzing this guy on some women's history.
So keep it here.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson.
Now joining us is Tania Green, who is becoming a lady's best friend with her new PMS bites. Thank you for joining us, Tania. Now, how and why did you come up with PMS bites? Kind of the reasoning behind it and the ideas.
Yeah, so I get debilitating PMS. It's horrible. Like most women, 80% of women suffer from PMS, and I live in the North End, so there's lots of like cannolis and brownies all around, and I like to stay fit and realize that I wanted to have a healthy alternative for a treat to eat when I'm PMSing. So that's how it all started.
So what exactly is in the product?
Yeah, so it's all organic ingredients, dates, cocoa powder, oats, and I have a mix of herbs, Siberian ginseng, chamomile, and dandelion root. Dandelion root kind of helps flatten the stomach out when you bloat. Chamomile obviously will calm you down, and Siberian ginseng is good for irritability when you're feeling a little pissy.
Oh my God. Wow, that takes a lot of research. But
Yeah.
also in terms of the Kickstarter, you had to start a Kickstarter to get
I
this
did.
going, and your original goal was 5,000, and you're
Yeah.
now over 7,700, I believe.
Yep,
Talk about
as of
sort of
this
like,
morning.
wow, that's amazing. Talk about sort of how your goal has overexceeded and all that.
Yeah, so I originally wanted to start lower, but people were like, you have to start high so that people can believe in it, and crowdfunding is so awesome. Kickstarter has been incredible. I never thought it would blow up as much as it has. You know, when you're sitting in Starbucks and you see Good Morning America calling and ABC News and a bunch of other media outlets like the Huffington Post, you realize like, okay, there's something going on here. So I did Kickstarter to kind of test the product and see if people would like it and how the media would respond, and it's been positive, and I hope to keep continuing on, make it work.
Now, how will you move forward with these funds?
Yeah, so I'm going to be working out of Kitchen Inc. in Somerville, and I hope to get a Whole Foods contract. I have 4 retail location secured in Boston, which is
Nice.
awesome right now. And then online subscription service so that my product will be delivered to you exactly when you need it. Most subscription services will get you at the beginning of the month or the end of the month. When you need it most, that's when I'll have the product delivered to
So
you.
right on time every month.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly.
And just out of curiosity, I know we have a lot of female watchers right now.
Okay,
What would
hi.
happen if a guy were to eat the PMS spice?
Yeah, you know, you're not going to grow boobs. You're not going to start crying.
Thank God.
Men love them. So
Really?
you can totally have them, enjoy them, and there's such a thing as pissy man syndrome. So that'll help with
Have you ever gotten a man to actually get an order from you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they'll get it for their girlfriends and not in an insulting
Oh,
way,
okay.
but also for themselves. They like the taste of it. They're really delicious, decadent, rich, but they're also healthy. 60 calories a pop, so it's been good.
So they're yummy and they sort of soothe your cravings, but at the same
Yeah.
time you said they kind of help with cramps and bloating.
Yeah, absolutely. So dandelion root will help with bloating. You could take it, you could mix dandelion root in water and it would help with your symptoms. But dandelion root's really bitter, so putting it into a chocolate that's sweet and decadent, it's sort of like a treat for you while doing something good.
Oh,
All right.
definitely.
Well, thank you so much,
Yes.
and
Thank
I
you.
might have to try them myself. It might be around
I
that
might
time
even have
anyway.
to. You never know.
But Chris Brown has been in and out of the spotlight quite a bit, but it's because he's a father. Amelia, what's up with that?
Some breaking celeb news this week. Rumors have been confirmed that Chris Brown is the proud father of a 9-month-old baby girl. Brown is reportedly on very good terms with mom, who is a former model named Nia, although sources say they're not together romantically. The singer's actual girlfriend, model Karrueche Tran, does not seem to be too thrilled at the news after she tweeted, "The best of luck to Chris and his family. No baby drama for me. Looks like you have to find yourself a new model, Chris." And in TV news, it's the reality courtroom show that never ends. CBS president and CEO announced Monday that Judge Judy Shineland's contract has officially been extended for another 5 years. So it's through 2020 now. There is no news yet about the contract for Shineland herself, who is now 72 and is among the highest paid TV personalities with her $45 million a year salary. Judge Judy is the highest rated show in all of TV syndication. Now in its 19th season, the show regularly gets 10.3 million viewers a day and has been #1 in its category for 969 consecutive weeks. At this rate, it sounds like we'll probably all still be watching Judge Judy in our nursing homes 60 years from now. And could live from Beijing, it's Saturday night, really be a thing? The answer is yes, after the online video portal Sohu.com announced plans Tuesday to adapt a Chinese version of Saturday Night Live. The website already carries the American version, but the new localized version will be in Mandarin language and will be culturally specific to China. The show will have consultants from the original SNL team and, of course, Lorne Michaels' licensing group to help put it all together. Producers have yet to decide whether the show will be taped or streamed live, but they're expecting the show to debut late this year or early 2016. And Taylor Swift proves once again just how dedicated to her fans she truly is. On Monday, the 25-year-old singer granted 4-year-old Jaylene Salinas in Texas her final wish, to dance with Swift to her hit Shake It Off. The singer sat down for a 20-minute FaceTime conversation with the terminally ill little girl, whose face lit up when Swift's face hit the screen. This isn't the first time the artist has granted fans wishes, though. Last summer, she sang to a 7-year-old cancer patient, and just last week, she tracked down some super fangirls who camped out 20 hours just to catch a glimpse of Swift at a radio show. I think it's safe to say we all just fell in love with T Swift a little bit more. Now that we've all had time to recover from the Academy Awards, prepare yourselves for the fun and wacky 2015 MTV Movie Awards coming up on April 12th. Let's take a look at some of my picks for this year's show. For Movie of the Year, I'm gonna have to go with either Whiplash or Selma on this one. Whiplash was just fantastic, obviously, but I would love to see Selma take something home from this award show. It was up against such tough competition at the Oscars. And for Best Kiss, I am 100% gonna have to say Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'm obsessed with their relationship in real life already, so that on-screen kiss was just perfect. And last but not least, for Best Villain, my pick goes out to the one, the only Rosamund Pike. She absolutely slayed in Gone Girl and played a sociopath creepishly well.
Although I do think it's going to be tough to defeat Meryl's Into the Woods performance. All right, that's about all the pop news I've got for you guys today. Maggie and Logan, back to you.
Thanks, Amelia. Sunday, March 8th is International Women's Day, and in honor of this fantastic feminine occasion, I've got a few trivia questions for our guys here. Logan, Sean, how much do you guys know about women's history?
Well, I guess we're about to find out. Trying to make my mom proud, so hopefully she doesn't be disappointed in me.
Well, this first question is a little tricky. I honestly don't know if I knew it myself, but what year was International Women's Day first celebrated?
A while ago. Say maybe 1920?
It'd have to be a while ago. I was thinking maybe like 1940, like late 1940s.
It was actually closer to Logan, so 1908, a little bit over 100 years now.
I was thinking more towards women's suffrage era, that sort of stuff.
Exactly,
So.
pretty close
I
there.
have reasoning, not just throwing out numbers, I swear.
Right. Well, this one is a little tough too.
They're all
we
tough,
all know
apparently.
the first man on the moon, but do you know the first woman in space?
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say we weren't that great in terms of space travel at first, so probably not American.
That's correct, actually.
I have no idea who this could possibly be.
Any idea country-wise?
German, maybe.
Russia. So it was
Okay.
Valentina Tereshkova.
That was actually going to be my next guess.
Oh, really?
That was coming up
Really?
right after
I don't
that.
think I could pronounce that name, even if I was just reading
Yeah, I mean,
it.
I had a little trouble with it, so. But this one, I think you guys might know, because it seems like you know a little bit about women's suffrage. So what year did women get the right to vote?
1920, right? 20.
Yeah.
That's mixing them up. Maybe.
ding,
Okay.
ding,
Okay.
ding. Woo! Okay. Well, this one also related. Which amendment gave women the right to vote?
19th Amendment.
Yeah.
My AP
bing,
US
bing,
history
bing.
teacher, Mr. Lush, would be very mad if I didn't get that one.
Wow. Yeah.
Well-
Mr. Lush still looking out. Man.
Yeah, I hope Mr. Lush is proud. So, who was the first woman on the Supreme Court? Not too many women have done it, so
yeah.
the first.
I know Ruth Ginsburg
I
was
wish I could
on
Yeah.
the Supreme Court, but
Right
was
now.
was she the first though?
Not
What would
the
Mr.
first.
Lush say if he saw you now?
I think he'd be happy that I was able to get at
To
least
get one.
At least one
least
woman on the
one.
Supreme
Okay.
Court.
I don't know.
It's Sandra Day O'Connor. So,
Okay.
but you got one lady, so pretty proud of you for
Yeah.
that one.
Okay, Sean.
Now this one, it's a little tricky, but it's our last question. So, who was the first woman on the United States postage stamp?
Oh.
We're going
Does-
way back now.
It ends with somewhat common last name. Am I right?
Yes,
Something like
sort of presidential.
Stewart or like a
Something presidential. So think first president.
That's
Yeah.
Okay. You just gave it away.
I mean,
She just wants me to get the win, guys. It's
that's
quick.
right. Well, it was Martha Washington.
Okay.
So I think you guys did pretty well.
Yeah.
given
Not
apparently we
bad.
didn't know anything, but yeah, I'd say
Not
so.
bad.
Thank you, definitely. Coming up though is Gretchen Kushel, who will be making us look all pretty and stuff with a style demo to come.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah. And so we are hearing about Sean's bold pick for this week, and I'm going to be honest, bold might be an exaggeration for me, if I can tell you. I'll let you talk about it more a little bit, Sean, but just so you know, I'm not loving it right now.
Uh-oh.
You know, there are some other games. I mean, you really want me to take Florida over Kentucky? There's still,
Well, I
there's
won't- yeah, I
still
wouldn't
an
make you do
upset
that.
that
I
we
wouldn't
could
make you
see later this week. But in the world of football, LaShawn McCoy is now a Buffalo Bill. Head coach Chip Kelly and the Eagles traded away the All-Pro running back for linebacker Kiko Alonso. McCoy was third in the NFL in rushing yards last season. In addition to McCoy, the Bills also signed former Patriots QB Matt Castle. Kiko Alonso marks the 9th Oregon alum to play under Chip Kelly that is now on the Eagles. And with more money to spend, don't be surprised if there are more joining the Philadelphia squad. The Red Sox held their annual game against the Boston College Eagles on Tuesday in Fort Myers to start off the season. However, this year was a little different. Both teams wore number 3 Pete Frates jerseys on the diamonds to support the former BC baseball captain who was diagnosed with ALS. Frates was the inspiration behind the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge that helped raise over $100 million in ALS research. The final score to that game was 1-0 Red Sox. LeBron James moved up the ranks, passing his former teammate Ray Allen on the all-time scoring list. LeBron scored 27 points against the Celtics to pass Allen by 3. Kings James now has 24,508 points in his 11-year career. LeBron is now nearly 300 points away from passing Patrick Ewing to become the 20th person on the all-time scoring list. 24 players were traded before the NHL trade deadline this week. The Bruins brought in some key players, including Maxime Talbot and Brett Conley. However, Conley is injured with a hand injury. He suffered that yesterday and will be out 6 weeks. The biggest steal of the deadline, though, came when the unstoppable Montreal Canadiens traded away a second-round draft pick for defenseman Jeff Petrie. And now for my bold pick of the week. Last week, my bold pick didn't play out exactly how I thought it would. However, this week, the upset is bound to happen. We will once again see the historic clash of the Duke Blue Devils and the University of North Carolina Tar Heels. Duke is coming into this matchup ranked 3rd in the top 25 with possible player of the year Jahlil Okafor. However, my bold pick is for UNC to upset Coach K's Blue Devils. The Tar Heels are 21-9 on the season and 4-5 against ranked opponents. Last time UNC took on Duke, it was in Cameron Indoor, and Duke only won by 2 in overtime. When it goes back to Chapel Hill, I think it's going to be a different story. Marcus Page, Bryce Johnson, and Kennedy Meeks all average over 12 points per game. North Carolina is the best in all of college basketball at assists and 2nd in rebounds. I think the Tar Heels have put themselves in a great place for an upset this weekend to round out this season. That's my bold pick. Now back to Logan and Maggie.
Thanks, Sean. We are now joined by Gretchen, who has brought a representative here who's going to be applying some makeup. So what's up?
So this is Cassia Enright. She is a certified Bobbie Brown Makeup Artist, and she's also a freshman marketing major here. So I know nothing about eyebrows, completely clueless. So can you just tell us about 2015 trends, how we're doing our eyes?
Yeah, absolutely. A big difference from 2015 to now is, eyebrows kind of went from that feature that were completely ignored to having way too much attention paid to it last year. They're big, bold eyebrows kind of painted on, and now
it's about the eyebrow game.
Yes, absolutely. But now it's still about the eyebrow game, but definitely toned down version.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what kind of products do you have with you today?
Today I'm going to use the NYX Eyebrow Cake Powder. It's really nice for college students. It's affordable. You can pick it up at CVS. It comes in a lot of colors and things like that. Yeah. So the best part about it is that it has 2 different colors, so you can start off really light and kind of build up how you like it and customize it to you.
So what is that white thing? I have no idea what that is.
Okay, so the white thing, this is something a lot of people ignore because a lot of people don't know what it is, but it is a wax that kind of helps set it once you put it on at the end. It's totally optional though, based on preference for sure.
Got it. And I see that you're using your own brushes. Is it because you're a professional, or how do you feel about the things that are in there?
The brushes are definitely usable. It's nice for on the go, but I'd say if you do have them on you, to definitely utilize them. But throw it in the purse and go. It's great.
Okay, so walk me through. I don't even know where to start.
Okay, so to start, you want to, like I said, building up coverage. It's like a big part of it. So definitely start with the lighter of the 2 colors, and I like to start at the arch of the eyebrow, because where you first put the color on your brush is where most color is going to be deposited. And if you start at the arch of the brow, it's a little more forgiving, and you can kind of work the product in a little bit more, for sure.
Got it.
Maggie never gets this dolled up in the morning.
I
Have somebody else do
know.
it for
I'm
her. It's the
excited.
pleasure.
So then what happens if you just completely are messing up?
Okay, so if you're completely messing up,
If you're just absolutely awful.
These are
at
the
this.
important questions.
your roommate comes up in the morning, shoves you. But yeah, if you mess up, it's totally a quick fix. You can just take a little bit of concealer on a brush and go around and touch up the areas you may have overfilled in with. But when you get to the territory of trying to contour the brow with it and really carving it out, that's when you take a step back to 2014. But you want to keep it more modern and light-handed.
Got it.
Also, let me ask real quick. We need the men's perspective on all sorts of stuff
Okay.
today. We have a lot of like MTs and stuff that use makeup for shows and all
Right.
sorts of stuff. What would you sort of advise maybe in terms of eyebrow or any of the other sort of makeup with them?
For eyebrow, you can do something very similar, just a lot of shaping. A lot of times guys don't need anything. They're blessed with the full brows. But
As for face makeup and things like that, you can stick to powder if it's lighter coverage, but if you want to go to the liquid route, you know, just my key tip would be to avoid SPF, especially with flash photography. You can get a weird flashback, but you know, there's a lot of good things out on the market.
All right. Very cool.
Nice. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. And I'm gonna definitely try to put some of these to the test because with lighter brows, I think sometimes, you know, they get hit in my face. So this will definitely try to, you know, make them
lift to the
pop a
face.
little bit
Saving
more.
Maggie.
Right.
Definitely.
Well, thank you guys so much.
Yes, definitely.
problem.
We hope everyone has a safe and extremely fun spring break.
That's right. Logan and I will be flying out to LA, but for those of you staying in Boston, stay warm and take care.